Hi everyone. Today we will discuss a new topic in steering systems. In previous class, we are discussing about the generalized measurement systems and layout of a steering system. So in that generalized measurement system and layout, we can see there are so many different topics should be covered in that class. So in that generalized measurement system, there are so many different components are connected with one another one to the steering system. So in this connection, what are the different components are used and what is the main purpose of those components and what are the different types of gears are used in the steering system and what are the types of linkages used, what are the types of joints used in the steering system. These are all generalized measurement system and a layout of a steering system. These topics we will discuss in previous classes. Today we will discuss a new topic. It is types of steering mechanisms. So what type of mechanisms we are using in that steering system? So in any type of automobile vehicle, you can take there is compulsory one steering mechanism. In different automobile vehicles, they will use different types of mechanisms based upon the manufacturer's requirement and company's requirement and customers requirement. Okay, so best quality should be making those mechanisms are used to give the best suspension and best steering system of that automobile vehicles. In this class, we will see about the what are types of steering mechanisms. First of all, what is steering mechanism and where we place it, how to locate the steering mechanism in automobile vehicles, and what is the main purpose of this system and why it should be located in automobile vehicle and where we locate this steering system in automobile vehicles. So these overall things we will discuss in this class. Today we will see the steering mechanisms. So those are different types of steering mechanisms. So going to steering mechanisms, I will explain a small uh, uh, subject related to this steering mechanism, that is condition for true rolling or correct steering angle. How to maintain correct steering angle in automobile vehicles, what is the calculation part and what is the derivation, and how to do the derivation to maintain a correct steering angle in automobile vehicles. You can see what is correct steering angle. The perfect steering is achieved when all the four wheels are rolling perfectly under all conditions of running. When the perfect steering is achieved, we can maintain the perfect steering angle. We can maintain the perfect steering angle. So in this advantage, we can maintain this perfect steering angle. What is the advantage is the four wheels of the four wheels are any number of wheels of the automobile vehicle. The running is the rolling is perfectly under all conditions of the running. And the vehicle should runs the road on different motions, that is straight motion or any turnings are occurred or any irregular roads are occurred or damping roads are occurred, speed breakers, these are different and roads are occurred. So the vehicle should runs, vehicle should rolling very smooth performance get uh, very smooth performance getting on this. We can maintain the correct angle in these automobile vehicles. Okay, so that is the main advantage to maintain the perfect steering angle. And next one, while taking turns, the condition of perfect rolling is satisfied if the axis of the front wheels when produced meet the rear wheel axis at one point when taking turns. So the turnings taking in the automobile vehicles. the condition of perfect rolling is satisfied. We can maintain the correct angle on the automobile vehicle. So the steering system should use the correct and proper turnings to the road. Okay, that's why the perfect angle should be maintained in the automobile vehicles while taking turnings on the different roads. The condition of perfect rolling is satisfied. The condition is perfect rolling, so it satisfies the perfect rolling because we can maintain the perfect steering mechanism. If the axis of the front wheels when produced meet the rear wheel axis at one point, if the axis of the front wheels is produced meet the rear wheel axis at one point, so the axis of the front wheels, it should be meet with the rear wheel axis at one point. So the one of the point is contact with the front wheel axis. I will show the diagram how it should be meet. Okay, so then this point is the instantaneous center of the vehicle. This center point is called the instantaneous center point of the vehicle. So that is the center point of the vehicle in the steering system. So how it should be maintained, we can see, you can see this diagram. You can see this diagram in the turning motion. So the maximum turning occurred when the center point of rear axle wheel. If maximum turning occur, if the vehicle should turns on the roads, any type of direction it should be taking. That means it's a left side turning or right side turning. It is a left side turning or right side turning. So any type of turning we can take. So we can maintain the maximum turning of that front wheels. We can maintain the maximum turning of that front wheels. That is the center point of the rear wheel axle. That is the center point of the rear wheel axle. You can see it is the normal position. It is the normal position. It is the normal position. The axis of the front wheels and the axis of the rear wheels is also same. Okay, so it is a front wheel axis, horizontal and vertical axis, so those are parallel. So whenever the turning occurred, the automobile vehicle, so that in the turning occurs, so the maximum turning portion, if the front wheels are taking the maximum turning, front wheels are taking maximum turning, so in that maximum turning it gives the center point of the rear wheel axle axis. That is the center point of the rear wheel axis. Okay, you can see it is the rear wheel axis of the center point. So it is the center point. So the maximum turning occurred in the front wheels. Maximum turning occurred in the front wheels. It gives the what is the motion, what is the turning position. It is the center point. It is meet with the center of the rear wheels. So the axis is meet with the center point of the rear wheels. So this condition we should be uh, taking and to maintain a perfect steering angle on these different automobile vehicles. Okay, and next one, you can see, so what is the angle, how it should be calculated, how it should be measured, uh, how to calculate the distance of the wheels, and how to calculate the value. You can see in this diagram, it is seen that the inside wheel is required to turn. The inside wheel is required to turn through a greater angle than the outer wheel. You can see the inner wheel, the inside wheel gets the maximum angle is getting. The inside wheel is gets maximum angle. So it is the side wheel. The inside wheel gets the maximum angle compared to the outside wheel. When if the vehicle turns left side, so it taking left side turning. Suppose the vehicle should take the right side turning. The vehicle should takes the right side turning. Okay, so it gives the inside angle is less and the outside angle is more. Suppose it is theta, it is theta, and it is phi. It is phi. Overall, it causes theta. Overall causes also theta. Okay. Why? Because the center point is located, the two wheels are at one point. The two wheels meet at only one center point of the rear wheel axle. That's why that is we can calculate the angle to that inside of the wheel is also theta. Inside of the wheel is also theta. Okay, you can see it is theta and it is phi. Okay, so the outside angle is phi. The outside wheel angle is phi. The inside angle is theta. We can measure the distance between the inside angle and the outside angle. That is the uh, maximum turning getting the inside wheel. Maximum turning getting the inside wheel. Okay, and you can see, so the distance between the center point to the inside wheel, the distance between the center point to the inside wheel, it is located as y. It is noted as y. And next one, the distance between the inside wheel to the outside wheel of the front wheel, that is c. That is c. I'm noted as c. And the distance between the front wheels to the rear wheels, the distance between the front wheels to the rear wheels, that is wheelbase b. That is wheelbase b. And the distance between rear wheels, the distance between rear wheels, that is a. That is small a. So if I maintain a perfect angle, I should calculate theta and phi. I will find out theta and phi. We can calculate in this theta and phi. I can get a perfect angle of this steering system. I can get theta and phi. I will maintain a perfect angle of this steering system. So these angles are the unknown angles. These angles are the unknown angles. I can calculate these angles, so I can get the perfect angle of the steering system. Okay, you can see the larger is the steering angle. The larger one is the steering angle. You can observe the larger one is the steering angle. It is the steering angle. It is the larger case. That is the steering angle. And the smaller is the turning circle. The smaller angle is turning circle. There is, however, a maximum to which we can go as regards the steering angle. There is, however, a maximum to which we can go as regards. So we can maintain one of the maximum point. So it reaches the maximum angle, so it should not go about that maximum amount of angle. Because for example, I can maintain the maximum angle is 44 degrees. I can maintain the maximum angle is 44 degrees. If the vehicle reaches this maximum angle of the turning motion. So the vehicle should not get 45 degrees angle also. Should not get this 45 degrees also, 46 degrees or 47, any type of steering angle. These angles are not getting the steering. I can maintain the maximum angle in that it is 44 degrees only. So that is the maximum angle. So the steering should not get this amount of angles, 45, 46, 47, these of angles. So 44 degrees is the maximum angle, steering angle. So steering angle is greater than 44 steering angle is greater than 44 degrees. 44 degrees. Only we can maintain the steering angle is 44 degrees. It should not get 45 or 46. I'm not maintaining that amount of angles. Okay. So it has been found that steering angle can have a maximum value of about 44 degrees. So we can maintain the maximum value of that steering angle is 44 degrees of the inner wheels. So the extreme positions on either side are called lock positions. The extreme positions, um, the steering should turns uh, 44 degrees. It should not turn above 44 degrees. So the steering should reaches the extreme position of that turning of the wheels. So that extreme positions of the sliding is called lock positions. Is called lock position. The diameter of the smallest circle which the outer front wheel of the car can traverse and obtain when the wheels are the extreme positions is known as turning circle. So the diameter of the smallest circle which the outer front wheel of the car can traverse and obtain when the wheels are their extreme positions is known as turning circle. So the inside extreme positions is known as lock positions, and the uh, outside extreme positions is known as turning circle. Outside extreme position is known as turning circle. Okay. So this outside is known as turning circle. This outside, and this amount of angle, this is the outside angle, that is the outside maximum angle, that is called turning circle. Okay. In this inside, it is overall inside angle. So in this inside angle is called lock position. Lock position. Okay. And next one, you can see for correct steering, we can maintain a perfect steering in automobile vehicles. How to calculate and how to find out this theta and phi, you can see. For correct steering, you can see where c is the lateral wheel separation. C is the lateral wheel separation. You can see it is the C. This C is called, this C is called lateral wheel separation. That is the distance between the front wheels in the turning. Distance between the front wheels. Next one, B. B is the longitudinal wheel separation. It is the B. Longitudinal. That is the distance between the front wheel and rear wheel. That is the distance between the front wheel and rear wheel. That is a wheelbase B. Is known as longitudinal wheel separation. That is the wheel separation. And next one, theta. Relative angle of inside wheel. It is the theta. Relative angle of inside wheel. So it is the inside wheel. So that is the relative angle of inside wheel. And next one, phi. Angle made by the outside wheel, that is relative angle of outside wheel. Relative angle of outside wheel. And next one, the distance between the rear wheels, a small a, that is the distance between rear wheels. Okay, so these are the terms in the perfect steering. These are the terms in the perfect steering. You can see what is the how to calculate the theta and phi by using this perfect steering mechanism. For perfect steering, I'll know about the it is phi and theta. First, I calculate the outside angle. That is, I can apply cot phi. I can apply cot phi. Okay, cot phi is equal to adjacent side by Sorry. Cot phi. Okay. So you can see cot phi is equal cot phi is equal to, I can know this value. That means I can know this value. It is y. It is y. Okay. And I can know this value also. This one. This one. That is C. That is C. Just a second. Okay. So cot phi is equal to cot phi is equal to adjacent side by adjacent side by opposite side. Adjacent side by opposite side. Then I get y plus c, or you can see this formula y plus c by p. Okay. So what's the it is distance y, and in this wheels distance c. It is the phi. That means hypotenuse. It is the hypotenuse. Just you can observe the formula. Okay, adjacent side by hypotenuse. That is that adjacent side is taking as y plus c. Okay, we can calculate in this. That is the phi. It is the phi. That means it is phi. But the distance is taking as it is y and it is c. So we should add this distance, that is y plus c, y plus c. So that is the adjacent side, and the opposite side, is b, and the opposite side is b. So we can calculate cot phi is equal to y plus c by b, y plus c by b. Okay, y plus c by b. And next one, we can calculate uh, cot theta. We can calculate the cot theta. It is, we can calculate only this cot theta. This cot theta is mean by this angle only. So in this angle, it should get only the inside wheel angle, only the inside wheel angle in this. Okay, so it is the theta, only the inside angle. Okay, so that is, that distance is y adjacent side. That means y by opposite side is b, opposite side it gets b. Okay, so that is cot theta. Cot theta is equal to y by b, y by b. So what I'm getting, cot phi is equal to y plus c by b. Then I can divide this equation, y by b, y by b plus c by b, y by b and c by b. So y by b plus c by b is equal to cot theta. Y by b is also known as cot theta. I get cot theta is equal to y by b. Cot theta is equal to y by b. Okay, it is the distance. It is the distance y. It is the distance b. I can get cot theta is equal to y by b. I can replace y by b in the place of cot theta. Okay, plus c by b. Then c by b is equal to, c by b is equal to cot phi, cot phi minus, I will send it this cot theta in this left side. Okay, so it get cot minus cot theta. So finally what I am getting is c by b is equal to, c by b is equal to cot phi minus cot theta, cot phi minus cot theta. That is the equation represents the basic condition for the steering mechanism for perfect rolling of all wheels. So we can maintain any type of wheels. It is the equation. Okay. So in this also known as center point steering mechanism. This wheel mechanism is also known as center point steering. Next one, what are the steering mechanisms? What are the steering mechanisms? You can see there are different types of steering mechanisms in automobile vehicles. So what are those steering mechanisms? It is, first of all, what is steering mechanism? We have already seen that a perfect steering, we must always have an instantaneous center about which all the wheels must rotate. So we can maintain a perfect steering. The all wheels are rotates very smooth operation and a very smooth running on the roads at the automobile vehicle. So that's why we can maintain a perfect steering angle. And for this purpose, inner wheel has to turn more than the outer wheels. So the outer wheels only the small angle compared to the inner wheels. In the inner wheel making high amount of angle compared to the outer wheels. To achieve this condition, two types of mechanisms have been devised. So to achieve these conditions, there are two types of mechanisms we are used. What are those types of mechanisms? You can see Ackermann steering mechanism and Davis steering mechanism. These are the two types of mechanisms we are using in the automobile vehicles. Um, these two mechanisms. One is Ackermann steering mechanism and Davis steering mechanism. So in this Ackermann steering mechanism, the Ackermann was introduced this mechanism. That's why it is called Ackermann steering mechanism. And the Davis steering mechanism, the Davis was introduced this type of mechanism. It is called Davis steering mechanism. Okay. So out of these Ackermann's mechanism is almost universally used because of its simplicity. Then it is the diagram of the Ackermann steering mechanism. So in detail of this Ackermann steering mechanism and Davis steering mechanism, I will explain in next class. So thank you guys.